everyone. It's Enjoy English School. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Betty.
And today is February 8th. And today is day one of our 2-day article about Chinese New Year. Our title today is Spreading Good Fortune with Red Envelopes.
所以这个标题呢，今天就下的呢非常的简洁易懂，恭喜发财，红包拿来啦！因为我们要讲一下过年的一些小故事。那这里呢，我们来看一下几个单字啦。这个 fortune 呢，其实台湾同学应该很熟，因为算命啊，我们就是 tell the fortune of someone， 对不对？所以这个 fortune 呢，它有命运的意思。那这个 good fortune 有另外一个意思是好运，好运。然后这个 envelope 这个字呢，我们来聊一聊它的发音。
So that's right. I like to say the word envelope in Taiwan, but I'm going to tell everyone a secret. I never said envelope, duan-yi elephant, duan-yi envelope in America. I always said envelope. And in fact, when I listen to Americans, maybe American television, they always say envelope too.
这个我感觉是好像是个法文字是吗？这个 en.
Yeah, that's right. So this actually goes way back in Latin if you want to know the truth. En means all like to close and velope means to circle something totally. So it really means to just wrap something up like in a package, like a 包裹。
把什么包起来。
Yeah.
那这个法文呢，它其实 en 会发 on 的声音，可是因为台湾人啊，我们这个 en 发 on 可能有一点难念，因为它听起来又更不像英文了。所以说 Chris 老师说他这里都会念 envelope， 那同学可以自己选。
That's right. I actually looked at a few dictionaries at various pronunciations, and I guess a lot of Americans actually do say envelope. I just never heard them before. 好奇怪，我检查那个字典。And 那个字典说短一的发音 but 我自己没有听外国人 But America is a big country and places have different pronunciations. 不同的地方可以有不同的发音 Let's look at our subtitle today. Timeless Traditions of the Lunar New Year. So when something is timeless, that means it's ancient. It's very old, but it doesn't feel like out of touch or out of fashion. If something changes, we don't care.It's still the same. It's timeless.
这个就是永恒的意思。刚才 Chris 老师有讲到，如果有一个东西呢，从以前就存在了 ，ancient 很久就存在了，可是呢，你不觉得它是 out of fashion， 你不觉得它退流行了，这就是永恒的。所以我们在讲说，这里是永恒不朽的新年传统。
All right, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we have our first paragraph. All right, friends, we're on pages 18 and 19. Our first paragraph has a lot of difficult prepositions.Please take out your highlighters and pens, and let's read our first sentence. Around the Lunar New Year holidays, it is common in Chinese culture for people to give money in red envelopes as gifts.
That's true.
Wow.
5 prepositions.Yeah, 我们来看一下他说呢，大概在这个农历新年的假期啊，我们很常呢，在这个中华的文化里面，就是要让大家呢，互相呢，把钱放在这个红包里面，然后把这个红包送出去当做礼物。
Okay, so we gotta look at a few words here. First of all, lunar, we will see this word a lot. It means moon. We don't want to say Moon New Year here because that feels like Moon Festival, 中秋节. That's pretty different than Chinese New Year.
对
Also, 这个是第二次 we see TUR 在单词中间 we have Chinese culture, and in our title we have fortune. Listen to this pronunciation. Fortune, culture. 这个 TUR 常常发 CH. Please write this down.
这里呢 Chris 老师讲的是这个 culture 这个字，它可能不太好念，对不对？这个 TUR 这个地方，那这里的话是发 ch 的音 culture。那再提醒同学，像那个 culture 的 L 舌头要顶上去哦，舌头要顶着。
And the last word in this sentence is gifts. Now, you probably know another word, present. And usually in English, the longer word is usually the more formal word. 通常跟常跟正式的话 But actually, gift is more formal. So you can give a little kid a small present, but you give grandma and grandpa a big gift.
所以这是相反的。
Yeah, this is a weird one. That's right.
所以这个 gift 反而比 present 还要再正式，感觉比较隆重一点点。
Oh, I tell you, my students mess that up all the time. They always guess present is more formal. That's not true.
Because we learn gift first.
Oh, really? Because it's a shorter word. Yeah. Usually the longer word is more formal. Not here. Let's continue to our next sentence. These gifts or presents represent sharing prosperity and good fortune with one's family.
对，他就说啊，这些礼物呢，通常就代表了，这个 represent 比较难的字，代表了你要分享繁荣啊。I like prosperity， 我们很常要翻译成什么风调雨顺啊、国泰民安啊这种英文翻过去呢，我们都翻成 prosperity， 这个繁荣啊，还有好运，和我们的家人一起分享。
Honestly, prosperity and good fortune are pretty similar words. We could just say sharing prosperity. That's fine in this sentence.But these are both really good phrases, prosperity and good fortune. Good fortune feels like luck, but prosperity feels a little bit more like a plan. You wanted to do this, so now you have a good result. Fortune is like luck, rolling the dice, and you can't control that. 这个 ones just means your everybody. You could just say your family here.
所以这个 ones 它其实呢就是指你的啊，然后没有特定人的。那这个 prosperity 呢，其实我们常常中文讲说什么恭喜发财，我们就会说 wishing you prosperity and health， 对不对？身体健康，万事如意这样。所以这个同学也是高中蛮喜欢考的单字，要把它背起来。
All right, let's look at the word sharing. Don't forget, 如果你要加一个那个ed or ing 的话，如果是母音开头，你要去那个无发音的 e。So share, S-H-A-R-E, 那个 e 是无发音的，而且 ing 是母音开头的 you need to drop that e. All right, let's take a short break, and when we come back, we got paragraph 2. All right, friends, let's begin with paragraph 2. We're on pages 18 and 19, and we're talking about Chinese New Year.
没错，我们就继续来看一下这个中国中华新年的一些传统。
All right, let's look at our first sentence in paragraph 2. The act of giving red envelopes started in ancient China.
所以呢，这个给红包的这个习俗啊，这个行为其实从古中国的时候开始的。
Okay, the act of 在最前面 highlight this or circle it. The act of V-I-N-G phrase. This just stresses the action. 就加强那个 giving red envelopes. 事实上 you can cross it out. You could say giving red envelopes started in ancient China and it's the same sentence. 但是the act of V-I-N-G just feels a little bit more formal and it stresses the action. And don't forget, give, G-I-V-E, has a silent E. Cross it out and add I-N-G.
Giving 这个字要去 E 加 ing， 然后呢 the act of giving 它其实还蛮常用到比较书写我们会用到的一个方式。等一下我们在下一段呢开头也会看到同样的句构。
All right, let's look at the word ancient. So we already talked about the word fortune, culture, and those are T-U-R, F-A-C-H. But here we have ancient, and this word also has a little bit of a ch in it. So underline C-I and write C-H.
对，那这个字呢其实有两种不一样的发音。那 Chris 老师刚才是念 ancient， 那我比较习惯念 ancient， 同学都可以念哈，两个都可以。
That's right. So we were talking earlier that some places will say some words a little differently. Envelope or envelope, both are okay. Listen to what your teacher says. You don't have to hit the table and say, well, Chris said. don't do that, okay? That's not a good idea. Okay, let's continue to our next sentence here. The practice is actually two separate cultural traditions combined over time.
对，这个做法呢，其实实际上呢是两个不同的文化传统呢，在经过了时间之后呢，结合在一起的。这个 practice， 我们同学们要提醒一下，这个是做法的意思哦，不是练习。
That's right. This is a noun here. Write that down. It's a noun. And underline this. In day 2, we will use the word custom. And this word custom means the same thing. The practice, the custom, blah, blah, blah. Custom is spelled C-U-S-T-O-M. We'll see that tomorrow, so write it down now. Now let's look at the word separate. Now this right here is an adjective, separate cultural traditions. Because it's an adjective, nega A-T-E 要发短 I, separate. If it's a verb, we have to say separate. And this is easy to remember because what is the verb for 吃 就是 eat and ate, 对不对？ So when it's a verb, just eat and ate, just like 吃东西。 When it's an adjective, 你在没有吃东西啊 so it's gonna be short I, separate.
这个字呢 separate 它的形容词跟动词的念法不太一样。如果是动词的话，就要记得你念那个吃的过去是 ate 的时候也是发长音，所以尾音 separate。 那这里的话是形容词 separate.
All right, let's go to our next sentence. The first involves the importance of the color red, while the second relates to giving money to keep evil spirits away.
对，所以这个第一种传统呢，它其实包含了就是说这个红色这个颜色的重要性。那另外一个这个 while 指的是一个对比的东西，他讲那个第二个其实有关给钱啊，为了要干嘛给钱呢？就是把那个恶灵啊驱逐出去，所以给钱。
Okay, so the verb involve, we could just say the first involves or the first is about, and it means the same thing here. Let's look at the word importance and underline A-N-C-E. 我们有单字结尾 A-N-C-E 的话, that's a noun. If it's N-T, that will be an adjective usually. And let's look at relates to giving. Pick up your highlighter. Did you pick up your highlighter? Because I want you to highlight relates to giving. Usually after to, we need a base form verb. But you know what? This to is a preposition. This is not an infinitive. You must say giving here. Relates to V-I-N-G.
对，这个要特别小心是有关什么的。那同学你要记得 relate to 它可以用主动跟被动， be relate to 跟 relate to 都是一样的意思。那两个的 to 呢都是介系词，所以后面要加 ing。 那提醒同学一下，最后keep evil spirits away， 这个 keep 是保持留着，可是呢你看一下后面介系词是 away， 所以是我不要了keep evil spirits away， 让这个恶灵呢远远的不要靠近我。那个 away 会是一个你解读的时候的重点哦。
All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we got paragraph 3. All right, friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on pages 18 and 19. It is February 8th, so Chinese New Year is really close, and we're talking about red envelopes and giving lucky money to your lucky family. Let's look at paragraph 3. There is an old myth about a monster called Nian that would appear every year and attack villages.
这里其实是一个很有趣的传说，大家应该都很熟悉，就是古老的传说就说有一个兽，有一个野兽呢，它叫年，我们叫它年兽嘛，对不对？那年兽呢，每一年都会跑出来，然后攻击村庄。
Okay, get your pens ready. We have a few things to write in this sentence. First, let's look at myth, M-Y-T-H. 这个 myth, Y 发短 I, myth, like just insect, short I. A myth is a traditional story that explains some early history or some natural thing.
对，就是传说的意思。那同学要记得那个 Y 可能不好发音，它发 it 的短音哦 myth.
Now let's look at the word monster. We all know the word monster is just 怪物, right? But what does M-O-N mean? It's actually Latin for the word warn.
Warn 就是警告的意思。
That's right. And if there's a monster, think of the Nian monster. When the Nian monster was coming, what did people do? They would say, run and hide. They would warn you. So M-O-N means to warn. 警告, write this down.
对，所以怪兽来了就要警告彼此，这样。Monster.
And let's look at the word village at the end of a sentence. This is made of two Latin words, and 他们两个蛮好用的, really. So V-I-L-L or V-I-L-L-A is just Latin for the word house.
所以前面这个 V-I-L-L-A 是房子 V-I-L-L 或者是 V-I-L-L 是房子的意思。
And A-G-E 超好用. You should remember this one. A-G-E in Latin means a group. So what is a village? It's just a small place where some people live. Not a lot of people. So the word here really just means a few houses.
把它两个意思组起来就变成村庄了。那个 A-G-E 是代表一个小团体的意思。
That's right. And don't forget, A-G-E in village 发短 I 还有 J. 这个不是 G. This is village.
同学发音要注意一下 village.
Let's go to our next sentence. Later, villagers discovered the monster, feared the color red and loud noises.
结果呢，后来啊，那个村庄的人呢就发现说，这个年兽呢，它其实很怕红色，然后还有大声的声音。
That's right. That Nian monster didn't like me because I'm pretty loud. All right. After that, red couplets, clothing, and firecrackers became important parts of the Lunar New Year.
对，所以在大家知道说，年怕这个红色还有大的声音之后呢，红色的春联啊，或者是衣服啊，或者是鞭炮，就变成了是中华新年的很重要的一个元素。
So I learned something in this article. I never knew how to say 春联 in English. It's like, what's a couplet? I was like thinking like poetry. And I was like, oh, this is like a 春联.
对对对，这个其实很好记，因为 couple 就是成双成对的嘛，那 couplet 就是对句，春联。
I felt so funny learning that word. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to say this in English. So let's look at the word firecrackers. You probably know the word fireworks, J-W-S. Now, fireworks, Teacher Anthony has a really good way to teach these. So he says fireworks are for your eyes and firecrackers are for your ears because firecrackers are very noisy and fireworks have color and smoke and they're beautiful.
Fireworks 是烟火，那 firecracker 它是有声音的，比较大声的哈，就是我们中文讲的鞭炮。
All right, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we have our final paragraph. All right, friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on pages 18 and 19, and we're spreading good fortune with red envelopes or envelopes. Let's look at our final paragraph. The tradition of giving money is related to the legend of Sui, another mythical monster that would scare children during their sleep.
这听起来是不是很像怪兽电力公司？他们说呢，这个我们给钱的这个传统啊，其实是和这个传说什么传说呢？这个祟这只野兽是有关的。这个祟呢，它也是一个神话里面的怪兽。那它喜欢干嘛呢？喜欢在小朋友睡觉的时候吓小朋友。
Okay, so the tradition of, 这个是 again paragraph 2, the act of, 就差不多一样的意思。It just means this action, all right? You can cross it out. Giving money is related to blah, blah, blah. It's the same sentence. Is related to, we already kind of talked about, and we also talked about mythical monsters. We had myth in paragraph 3. 后面我们加 I-C-A-L. This is the adjective. A myth, mythical.
对，这个 myth 是名词神话， mythical 是形容词神话的。
Okay, let's go to our next sentence. One night, a couple gave their son some coins to play with to keep him awake.
对，然后他就讲到有一个晚上啊，这个一个夫妇呢就给他们的儿子有一些以前的铜钱，那让那个小朋友可以玩啊，就让他不要睡着。
So this couple here is different than couplets in paragraph 3. This just means like two married people.
夫妇这样子。
All right, and coins, we know those are just kind of metal money. And when we want to keep someone awake, we don't want them to sleep. Let's go to our next sentence. When the child fell asleep and Sui appeared, the coins burst with bright lights and scared the monster away.
对，然后这里呢很神奇的就是那小朋友呢就不小心睡着了，那这个祟呢就突然出现了。那可是呢因为那个夫妇给小朋友铜钱嘛，对不对？那这个硬币呢在那个祟来的时候就突然爆炸，然后发出很亮的这个光线，那这个祟这个怪兽呢就吓跑了。
So the coins burst. This means to explode. But when something bursts, it 不一定有火. So something like if you have a water balloon, and when that bursts, there's no fire in a water balloon, right? So explode usually means fire, burst 不一定。
就是那个 burst 有的时候它不一定要有火啊，比如说像我们也可以说 burst out laughing 就大笑，它就是突然比较很突然的，然后爆裂的那种声音啊，或者是那种景象都可以。
That's a perfect example. No fire when you burst out laughing. Let's continue. Eventually, or over time, slowly, people began giving coins tied together with red string.
对，那最后呢，发展到最后，大家就开始说，因为怕税会来啊，所以就给大家那个硬币。那这个后面这个句子比较难，那个 tithe 它其实解释前面这个 coins。那给硬币之外呢，他们还会把这个硬币呢串在一起，用红色的线把它串在一起。其实大家如果看古装剧就知道，以前的人会把那个钱缠在那个裤带上。
It wasn't until the early 1900s that this traditional gift was replaced by paper money put inside red envelopes.
对，那他就说啊，其实它的演变呢，它的历史是很长的要直到这个20世纪初期的时候呢，这项传统才被就是 paper money， 就是我们讲的纸钞，取代。原本都是硬币，那现在就是20世纪初期才被纸钞取代。
All right, with that, we are done for today, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back after 24 hours with day 2 of our Spreading Good Fortune with Red Envelopes article. For Enjoy English School, I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Betty.
And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.